Good morning, this is Kim Hammer with your devotion taken from 1 Samuel chapter 16, beginning with verse 7. Have you ever judged a book by its cover, or have you ever looked at something on the outside appearance and thought that it must be the right choice, it must be the ideal selection, only later to be disappointed because you realize that what was on the inside was not reflective of what was shown on the outside? That's exactly what happened with Samuel. Samuel was sent by God to pick out a successor to Saul who was going to be removed from the throne. And when Samuel went, he came to a particular family that God had led him to, and the dad's name was Jesse. Jesse had several sons, and when Samuel came in and he found the eldest son, he thought, well, this must be the right one. But in reality, God had rejected him. Samuel was looking at things with the outward appearance and thinking, how is it that the people would accept this person based on his height, his appearance, and other features that appeared to make him the ideal choice to be the king. But God had a word for Samuel, and it just goes to show that no matter how close to the Lord you are, there's always room for improvement in your spiritual relationship with God to become more dependent upon Him in making the right choices and less dependent upon what we see with the physical eyes. The Bible said in verse 7, "But the Lord said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I am rejecting him." The Lord does not look on the things man looks at. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And a valuable lesson for us today is this: whenever it is that we have to make choices, whenever it is that we are doing an assessment of a situation, or maybe even an assessment of a person to be picked for a job or to be associated with, or whatever the case may be, let's look at things through the spiritual eyes and not necessarily through the physical eyes. One of the things the Bible tells us in the book of Proverbs chapter 31, toward the end of the chapter, in the description of the virtuous woman, says that charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. What we sometimes look at with our human eyes as far as determining what is the best pick for a situation or for a person may be the least important to God, because He realizes what we see on the outside often deteriorates over time, but what is experienced in the heart can grow over a period of time. Samuel was going to grow as a result of this lesson because he learned something that God had to teach him. As the story goes on, we see that David was the least of the sons, but yet he was the first choice of God. Another lesson for us. What we may consider to be the least may be the most important to God. The reason we know that is because when David was picked, the Bible tells us at the end of the chapter that the power of the Holy Spirit came upon him and God began to do a great work. Remember the scriptures, what it teaches us, that God measured it by the heart, not by the outward appearance, and He was looking for a man after God's own heart, and He was able to see into the heart of David, and that's why He picked him. Hope you have a great day.